Hey there, Hushpup here, back with another Serenitea Teapot update. It's part 6 and a lot has happened since the 5th part, although on your guys' end it'll just be a couple of weeks. But trust me, a lot of time has passed between when I recorded those videos and then when I'm recording this video. I think maybe even an entire month. We're going to start this out of order that I actually recorded the clips in, but that's okay. First off, we actually went and looked to see what the best way was to generate the various realm currency and such, and we found that building 4-star furniture pieces made the most sense, and it was recommended just to build so many of these jade screens, so that's what we're doing right now. We are building a whole bunch, speeding through it, actually hitting a bottleneck because I'm running out of those red dye materials. I'm going to go and have to farm some more of those Sunsetia fruits in the future. It's annoying, like every single time I'm out questing I make sure to go and grab these, but even still I'm running out faster than I'm getting them, so I might have to do a dedicated day of going to farm these fruits, especially as you need them to get the red dye. Other than that, certain wood types I'm also running out of. Those aren't too difficult to farm. There's some really good videos out there showing quick and efficient farming routes just to get a couple every day, so I'll be doing that. I don't like to spend hours and hours and hours farming one particular thing, I get bored, so something that you can just hop on and do for a bit that's efficient and then doing it regularly. That works better for me, as over time you build up a nice large stockpile. That's how I got all of my core lapis. I didn't farm all over the map, I farmed one particular area and did it regularly, and then I had enough over time. It means you don't go crazy running around gathering all these things. One exception was that Chingsing plant, because I did actually have to go out and spend a lot of time farming that, as it isn't usually clumped up. It's just at the top of mountains and you get like one or two. There's only a few locations where it was really densely packed, and I desperately needed those for a character. Alright, that's enough distractions, back to the video at hand. So as you can see, we're placing down all of our jade screens in this room. We're also putting a bunch of other objects that we had built before. Have to rearrange our storage home to house things. What was cool that I learned is that the different realms that you can unlock, you can use your materials you've built on each one separately. So all of these jade screens I can set up on another world just fine. So that means you can use one of the 3 worlds just for farming resources, and then you can build properly on the other 2. So that's the plan here so far. Outdoor furniture requires different types of builds. I think they said that stone lion statues or the bigger things like the walls and fences, they get you quite a good amount of adeptal energy, so we'll be going for those later as well. You can also see me just plopping down random bits of furniture on the top floors. Might as well just fill it out as much as possible. Each room apparently has its own load limit, which I didn't know, so fill up each room as much as possible. We'll come back to the outside and also looking around inside later. Earlier on we completed a bunch of items that we had in the queue earlier, such as these wall pieces. Very excited to start using these, as one, we didn't build those objects before, so we got the first time build creation bonus to increase our trust rank. And secondly, I really want to have enough of these to make a really nice looking courtyard, especially as we have quite a lot of Liyue architecture and buildings, so that will be quite cool. We just need to get some little decoration pieces and then that will look like a place straight out of Liyue itself. Also speeding through and doing the usual, creating one of everything that we haven't done before, trying to get our trust rank to be higher. I ran out of red dye, so I have to go make some more again. Running out of those fruits required to make it though. And all that work allowed us to actually get to trust rank 8. We get 60 primo gems and then a Hillacher building and another Liyue building. So we got a whole bunch of different stuff. Only 2 more to go and we've maxed out our little Serenitea Teapot home, which is cool. I want to go and have a look to see what items we can buy, since when we got to 8, it unlocks all these things, so we can get Sanctifying Essence, which is artifact experience material, so you don't need to get other artifacts to enhance your current ones. You can also get Mora. I'm really tempted to buy this because I need Mora. I need it so badly, but I think I'm going to hold off for now. I wonder what the best thing to buy in this shop is. Probably the transient resin, right? It's 1,200. But this gives you 60 original resin. Again, you've got to use it before it dissipates, which, is fine. It means you can't hoard it and store it. They don't want you to hold a whole bunch of it for an event or something, which makes sense. That, and then I guess if you need the hero books and you don't want to go and farm them with your resin, you could get those. I think the Sanctifying Essence and the Sanctifying unction as well, those two potions. They sound really good if you don't have a lot of artifacts to use. Obviously, the two bottlenecks are, at the end, enough Mora to do stuff, and then enough of the materials to enhance things. We also got another realm to unlock, so we can choose either the Cool Isle or the Emerald Peak. We're going to go for the Cool Isle, because from what I remember, I think this is Mondstadt, and then the one in the middle is Liyue. Since we've got the floating realm thing, that's already Liyue themed, so I thought let's go for Mondstadt. And this place looks nice, it's very green, nice mountains, beautiful sky. Great place to start building stuff. Now I think with this one, we might actually do things properly, and we'll definitely theme it after Mondstadt. Looking around on the map, it's very different, so there's this main massive island, and there's one smaller one up north. Let's go inside the mansion and see what it looks like. So this one, the actual building is different. Probably like the Liyue building, you could just change the floor and the walls to look like the other building if you wanted to. This is cool. We're not going to explore it fully yet. Now what I want to know is, when it comes to the currency, can you spread out your stuff across the different realms, and then will that pool up and total up to one amount that you get? Or does it only count it from like the highest of each realm, if that makes sense? Because if you can spread it out, that'll make it very easy. But it probably isn't. It's probably the highest on one. So yeah, we do have to probably just stick with the plan of making one realm our money generating one. And then the other two we can decorate nicely. But there's so much you can do here. You could just spend hours and hours building and creating stuff. Looking to see about creating some of these outdoor sets, because we've, one, not done that, and two, it would really help with generation of currency and such. But I don't think we have nearly enough to actually make them. Funnily enough, the trees are the thing we're missing. You have to buy those directly from Tubby. Or when the special vendor comes around. Can't craft trees, funnily enough. Which, you know, makes sense. So just going to look to see if we can find some items here that were on that list, and these fences were one of them, so we're going to build a bunch. Speed those up as well so we can get them. We needed 6 if I remember correctly. Alright, and after we've done all that, time to move on to the next thing. So I have all of these Mondstadt buildings, and I thought what would be cool is to create a cool looking castle-y thing. Since I've seen a lot of amazing creations by other people that make use of these land pieces. And interestingly, what you can do with these land pieces is you can plop down these buildings on top. And then after you've done so, you can grab the land piece and you can smush it inside another land piece. But the thing on top will also no longer have collisions and go with it. So you can create like this mega structure, and it looks really cool. We just have to get the right buildings and pieces. Now, I tried to put these last 2 Mondstadt buildings on, but you can't, or I don't have land pieces big enough for them to fit on, so that will have to go either somewhere else, like on the ground, or, well, not at all, and we just have to build the other types. But it's cool anyway. You can see me just having a futile attempt to try and put this one on. I like laid down multiple land pieces, so you can't do that to make it work. The object or building you want to place has to fit cleanly on top with no overhanging edges, which means you can't stack multiple next to each other and hope it can fit a bigger building. Or maybe you can and I'm just doing it wrong, I don't know, but I couldn't get it to work. Then just putting a bunch of other objects down to fill in the space and to increase our adeptal energy. Once again, we are nowhere near making something nice or organised. Making like a random Hilichurl camp over here, or an abandoned one at least. Making use of all of the Hilichurl buildings that we had to build. After that and a few more buildings, it was time to go and check out the new island, since we have not done that before. We haven't built on one of these. We're on the new island, or one of them, Conch Court Isle. It looks really cool, so you can only build in this sandy area on that one. And then Mirage Isle is smaller, but has a nicer area to build. I guess one is more beach focused. It's interesting they gave you like the whole little hill area, then you can't put anything on it. So here we could build like a mini Liyue outpost. Maybe there was like an expedition and then they built a little town or something. Although I don't know with a little town you would choose to create such fancy architecture with these palace walls and such, but it doesn't matter. It's a fantasy game. We can do whatever we want. We spent the money and the resources and the time making all these things. Of course we're going to use them. Although, as you can see, we are out of wall pieces because we only built one of each. So, yeah! It could be the ruins of something then. I will have to come back and finish this when we get more pieces, and I should definitely do that soon. After doing that and laying those out and adding a couple more buildings, it's starting to look pretty decent. It is actually quite small, so maybe it's not the best idea to add those wall stuff. And the actual like Liyue buildings themselves are huge in comparison, which, yeah, it does make sense. Someone's got to actually live in there. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit some of these on here. I mean, some are tiny, some are huge. It's quite funny. But without putting much effort into it and just dumping a bunch of buildings that we already have made, it looks kind of decent. Would be fun to do this properly with a bigger area. With those walls, I think it would look quite nice. So, once again, we'll try that in the future. Once we've built a bunch of stuff, I will make sure to get on and do that. Alright, well, when we're back again, where we were at the beginning of the video, leaving our home that was just full of items to generate currency. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go and check our trust rank again to see how far we are, as well as how much adeptal energy. So we are 11,500. We're very close to the next one, in which case we will get more coins per hour. So with that in mind, we're just going to go and place a few more items. Now we learned that pets, or the animals, take up a lot of the load limit, and for efficient coin generation, you kind of don't want the animals because they don't make a lot for how much they take up. So we removed them. There's a few other items as well that aren't as efficient. I think trees can be a bit heavier, and lights as well, like things that generate light. So yes, just putting down a few things, gonna dump down the walls and these gate pieces since they're quite decent for generation, and it's not gonna look nice, we're just gonna put them here. It's kind of a shame actually, because even though it wasn't perfectly done when I've been going through this realm before, it looked kind of decent, you know, it looked kind of nice. There was some semblance of organisation and theming. Now there's just random wall pieces sticking out everywhere, and it just looks like someone's making a Lego set and organising all the bits ready to start building. Oh well. After doing all that though, we have a lovely... It looks like some sort of weird shop you'd go to, where it's like, hey, look what we've got for sale. We got 2 statues, we got a bunch of fences. Why don't you come in and buy some of the stuff we have? But it served its purpose, and we are now at 12,570 adeptal energy, which means we're getting 26 coins per hour, which is much better than where we were before. And that also means we don't have... Well, we do have quite a while to go, but there's only 2 more tiers, and then we've maxed out the amount of coins. So I'm going to be making sure to continue farming the resources for those jade screens, and we're going to just have rooms and rooms of jade screens. We're not crypto mining anymore, we're jade screen mining. Well, that's about it for the part 6 update. Oh, and I will also show some extra footage where I have actually managed to nearly clear the entire shop of blueprints, so there won't be any more of those to buy. I guess that means I can focus on getting some trees for the sets, and then also buying the cool rewards from the shop, which will be nice, like transient resin and such. Well, with that, I'm going to end the video here. I wasn't quite sure where this one was going, but it turned out to be quite interesting with turning into a farming video. Trying to get as many coins as possible. I'm not sure what will happen in the next one. I think maybe I will condense reaching the next couple of milestones and then just do one final, we've reached the end, whenever that happens. But we'll see. Depends if they add anything in between. And as I'm also slowly gathering the resources to build nice furniture I want, I will probably actually one day make a video decorating one of these islands properly and making it actually look nice, which will be cool. But yes, for now, that is the end of the Serenitea Adventure Part 6. So thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.